2005, the Lord started me off of the prison ministry from the outside to people who received my testimony. They had an address to write me if they cared to, and Robert Little was one of them. And he was one of the first people who started to write me. Around the year 2006 is when he started to write me. And, we exchanged at least 50 letters over the next few years. And he's a strong man of God, steeped very deeply in the Word. And I gradually came to understand that he was deeper into the Word than I thought I was. So we kept opening doors, and the Lord kept allowing them to open, and it eventuated in I would be his sponsor when he came out of prison. And moved him back to Texarkana, picked him up the day he got out of prison, and hooked him up at Lifehouse Church, Pastor James Ross, at that same day. And the rest is history.
Those three things are this: to know his will, to grow in his will, and to go according to his will.
It's been an overwhelming emotional day for me, just listening to Pastor Robert preach, because so much of it is right on, because the person he used to be is the person I used to be, and he's a good friend to have. He is a good friend of Christ Jesus, and I love him.
I don't think I really decided to be a pastor. I think God just called me to be a pastor, if that makes any sense. I was raised up in the late 60s and early 70s in the San Francisco Bay Area, so there were folks everywhere running around for a cause. It may not have been the best cause, but they were diehard for a cause. So I think I saw a lot of that. God just made it clear to me that the only thing that was of real importance was doing what He wanted me to do. And for me, that's pastoring. No problem when I was operating in some semblance of my right mind, but my mind just would never stay right because I was darkness masquerading as light. But one day He delivered me and set me free. And I probably came here, it was probably 4 years here at Plentiful Harvest before I realized that God was really serious and that this was real and that I wasn't going to mess it up, that His redemption mercy was driving what was happening here. And that I had one role, was to shepherd His flock and challenge them to recognize His purposes for them. The thing that's unique about New Boston in particular, you can't see right here, but if you see those buildings right there, that's housing. That's government housing. New Boston has the highest per capita level of government housing in the state of Texas. God gave us a lot of space here. Yeah. So this is actually the Bowie County Child Welfare. They get this room right here, and it's going to look like a wreck, but you see right there, they've got their Stop Child Abuse signs in there. So they have use of this room here. Then we got a Kairos room. Okay? We're the host church for the Kairos. Yeah. That's one of our greatest blessings. We get to do ministry, but Kairos, the folks,
Come on.
Yeah. I can't describe how much the Lord has blessed us.
Yeah, man.
Through our Kairos friends, this ministry is hard. So we, so fellowship is important, and we do a lot. We do this all alone. We do breakfast. We want to fellowship. We want to have our folks fellowship, but the main reason we do that is so folks can be fed. Folks in the community. Yeah. There's a lot of hungry folks around here. There's more homeless folks than you think. Yeah. And let me show you something here. So they come in and they'll get what they want, and then they'll wander off. They don't often want to stay. But you see that right there? Homeless, especially when there's mental illness involved. Some folks, they want help, but there's a degree of antisocial behavior. So that's what they want. Yeah, we have somebody sleeping out there, and we'll, we may meet them, we may not.
Right.
But, they'll have a place, and I have some blankets in my office. Every once in a while we'll put something out there. And we're very much what you might call a Matthew 25 type of ministry. And I heard a pastor say one time he was looking for a Matthew 25 pastor. And my thought was that every pastor should be a Matthew 25 pastor. Every believer should be focused on that, meeting people where they're at, and in that serving Jesus. But I believe Plentiful Harvest is needed because we minister to those folks that are marginalized and have fallen through the cracks. And often the marginalization is self-imposed. They've done it. I did it to myself at one time. And those folks need a place that is theirs.